Bleacher Report is listing the Lakers as the top playoff fringe team that needs to reset their roster. Bleacher Report cites the aging LeBron and large amount of money tied up in the big three of the Lakers, LeBron, AD, and of course Russell Westbrook. AD not been able to remain healthy, and the Lakers lack the supporting cast of a typical championship team. Shannon, I know they are your guys. Do you think there's any truth to this report?
Yes. Even healthy, I don't see them contending with the roster built as it currently is. I just don't see it. And I think there is some truth to this, Skip. Obviously, they need to do something with Russ, but it seems like they might be in a holding pattern or waiting to see to what transpired during the draft and see if they can move him then, Skip. But all things being equal, I know I'm only gonna have LeBron maybe 2-3 years max, Skip. I'm thinking 2-3 years max. If I were to trade a player, I'd trade AD. Because I think LeBron James gives me a better chance of getting to the championship than Anthony Davis does. And that's what the Lakers are just not going to get off guys. They're going to want stars back. Because I don't believe you can win in L.A. and hold this fan base with just guys. It's more than just winning, Skip. It was like Showtime, but they had stars performing show. You can't just have guys doing Showtime. You needed Magic. You needed Kareem. You needed Worthy. For the Lakers in LA is about stars, Skip.
It is. Agreed.
And so if you trade them, what stars are you going to get back? You just can't trade and say, okay, I'm going to get 2 future first-round pick, unprotected lottery picks and give up LeBron James? I don't see how that works. Like I said, I believe there were a better chance they would trade Anthony Davis than trading LeBron James. But I believe LeBron James, even though he might not average 30, he might fall back to what he's averaged over, say, the last 6 or 7 years, which is around 25, 26 a game. But 25, 26 points a game with his versatility, being able to facilitate like he can, get some shooters around him, that 6'5", 6'4", Skip, assist total will probably be 8 to 10 assists. 25, 10, and 7, 25, 10, and 8 would be pretty good for a player in year 20. So for me, it's not far-fetched to think that they probably should make some changes, some drastic changes to this roster.
I'm going much farther than that. I greatly appreciated the job that Grant Hughes, the national columnist for the Bleacher Report, did, making such a compelling case that the Lakers should just blow it up, because he's right. If you forget about the names involved, if you just look dispassionately at what their assets are currently, you have a 33-49 team that's led by a player going into his age 38 season, his 20th season, with an expiring contract of $44.4 million, and that player has stated no clear intention of re-signing when his contract is up, and that guy's LeBron James, right? So that's dangling over your head right now. Then his co-star is a constantly injured big man who will make an average of $40.6 million over the next 3 seasons. Wow, really? Then you have an exceptionally ill-fitting and clearly declining point guard who will collect a whopping $47 million, as you know, next year if he opts in, which clearly
he opted in.
Okay. And beyond that, says Grant Hughes, the cupboard is bare. This team doesn't have a single young player who projects as an above-average starter in the league, and the only future first-rounder it can trade is all the way out in 2027. That's just recipe for disaster next year, right? And Grant Hughes concludes, isn't this exactly the kind of situation in which a teardown is the only real option, the only way out of this?
Yeah, it would be a perfect teardown if you weren't in L.A.
Okay, I got it. And yet he says, because we're dealing with the Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and a broad organizational belief in its own exceptionalism. I like that word, because that's how we're the Lakers and you're not, right? That this demolition will not happen, but it should. Okay, I concur with this. It will not happen, but really, if you stand back and look at it, it should. But instead, they're going to close their eyes and plunge with Darvin Ham and say, you be the miracle worker. You fix Russ. You save the day. You turn us around, right?
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Do you believe in LeBron? I do.
Okay, even in year 20, you believe in him?
I'm going to believe in him in year 21 and 22, too.
You'd be a believer in him in year 50.
No, not that far.